in a small town down in Arkansas, where the river flows. There's a man with a passion that everybody knows. He's got a collection that'll make you stare. Vintage pocket knives laid with tender care.
Howdy, howdy everybody. Welcome to HT's EDC, coming at you from the back patio. And there is Abby and Little Bit's actually making a cameo. You can see the little fella right over there. How's everybody doing this morning? We've got a pretty cool one for you. There comes Abby now. She didn't want to miss all of her limelight. Come here, girl. You gonna say hello to the folks? Huh? You wanna say hello to the good folks this morning? Anyway, we are going to complete our part 2 video today of our Barlow collection. Show me your Barlows. The people's my People's Choice series. You guys send in some show ideas, some topics, and we'll do them. I'll tackle them. So we're going to get into that. We'll do a real quick pocket dump. If I sound a little marble-mouthed, it's because I've got about a half a mouthful of these delicious ranch seeds here. So that is out here with me. We have our good old pocket cross. Got a total little Jesus with you every day. We have our Open Sea Leather Pt. 2.0 wallet. We have the truck fob. And today for our knife, back in our MKM magnetic slip, we are toting my new 47 case 47 Stockman. We will get that one open here real quick. I say real quick, as quick as I can. But anyway, this is an absolute beauty. We have some good old HT red going on here. Shocker alert. And honestly, this is my first 47 pattern that I've owned. Yeah, I have always been more of, I'm the big knife guy. I have the 75s, a couple of 75s, and I have other brands, Stockmans, that are in this same size, the 4-inch size, but this is my first foray into a 47 from Case. Pretty cool. Loving these rounded, kind of round bolsters here. Pretty neat. And what is really neat about this knife is each blade has its own back spring. So normally you'll just see 2 back springs. One of them will have to share a spring, one of your 3 blades. But this particular knife, it has each blade has its own corresponding spring. And of course we got some Teeners on this already. This was not brand new. This is from one of our brothers here in the knife community. Sent this along, and he knows who he is. Shout out this morning. But yeah, the 47 Viper is what's going in our pocket today. And I got one thing before we get into our Barlows that I want to show you guys off. Or that would be show off to you guys. I have my coffee's over here cooling, right, folks. I haven't had the first sip yet, so the brain don't exactly, link up till I get that caffeine in me. But if you guys remember, this guy right here, me and Dwayne did a video, I don't know, now probably about a month and a half back, on this Schrade 15 OT, and this was a knife that he found, really, down at Plain Dealing, Louisiana, at Hickory, oh guys, they're going to kill me, Hickory Antiques, I believe it is, down there. My husband and wife down there, awesome folks. Anyway, Dwayne found this thing in there, and it looked, it was pretty rough. And I've already showed the knife before where he has redone this knife. I mean, this thing was pretty much a bucket of rust when he got it. And I tell you, I looked at Dwayne out of the side of my eye, and I'm like, buddy, I mean, even, and I'm a restorer myself, but I was like, whoo, Dwayne, that's pretty rough. Do you think you can do anything with that? But anyway, the price was right, so he didn't have a whole lot of investment, and it was worth it to him, you know, to give it a try. And I've already showed the knife before, and he absolutely killed it. This thing is sharp. It is ready to take to the field. But this is an old Schrade Walden, USA, and it's hard to make out over here, but it does say 15OT, has like a the patent number down there below it. But I think he just done a wonderful job on this. But what I wanted to show off today, the guy had it in just a makeshift sheath to get the thing home. It wasn't the sheath that went for it, like a plastic sheath. He had just had this stuck down in, just, you know, to preserve it and for safety, but it didn't have a sheath. Well, Dwayne being who Dwayne is, Mr. Crafty, he has taken care of that. And I wanted to show this off. This is another sheath that Dwayne has tackled, and it is his first, as far as I know, Dwayne, this is your first fixed blade sheath that you've done. He's done a couple pocket sheaths. I actually have one of them. He gifted me one. I think he has gifted Aaron 8651 one of his two pocket slips, I say sheaths, pocket slips that he's made, but this is his first sheath. And check this out, folks. Check out that stitching. And he also told me that this is leather stitching. Check out the young man's, I think it's nice and straight. Look at this. And if you gotta know, I've said it before, he is a good friend of mine. I am biased. I stand on that. So I am telling you, I am biased. I know Dwayne well, but he is one of the most humble human beings. He doesn't care about being on here. He's probably going to be like, oh, HT, you didn't have to tell all that. And I asked him yesterday, he came by for a visit. I'm like, pump the brakes. Let me see that knife again. Let me hold on to that. But he don't care about none of this. But I said, buddy, you deserve to show this off. This is killer. If you could feel this, folks, this is a really, look at those grains. You see those grains in that leather there? Check out this stitching. And this is freaking like his third that I know of. He may have made more. That I know of, this is his third slip or sheath this young man's made. And how you guys just go out there and kill something like this, just, I'm going to make a sheath. I'm going to try my hand at it. And come up with something like this on your first go around. As far as a sheath, this is his, again, as far as I know, his first sheath. But look at this snap. This thing is just awesome. Again, I'm a little biased, no doubt about it, but he now has an awesome combo, a great sheath for this knife that he restored, which he did a again, if you've seen where this knife came from, whew, it is amazing. But I just wanted to show off his leather work. Dwayne, top shelf, buddy. This is killer. So, anyway, now that I have thoroughly embarrassed Dwayne, I will get into what we came here today, and that is to show what I would call more my traditional size Barlows, the ones that are, you know, the 3.5, the 3 1/4 inch Barlows, kind of standard size. Yesterday I started Sorry, I'm going to have to get rid of those seeds where I can halfway talk. But these are more the standard size Barlows that you're, accustomed to. Yeah, the three and a quarter up to 3.5, 3 5/8. That's what I call, when I think of a Barlow, this is the size I think of. I showed the big boys yesterday, the granddaddy Barlows. Anything 4 inches and up I showed yesterday. Well, today we're going to get into the little guys, or really the regular guys for the Barlow pattern. And the first one, again, we're going to go quick because there's a few of them here. Not going to take a lot of time on each one where I can get you guys out of here. First one I want to show you. Bam. Coming out the gate swinging. We have a Boker, and we have some good old stag. Oh yeah, you already know me and stag, and this is just look at that groove in that, folks. Big old deep valleyed, knotty stag. Has the nice Boker tree shield inlaid there in the stag. The long bolster. And as you can see up here, we have some nice teeners going on this. We have the whole Boker tree brand etching in there. It's kind of camouflaged a little bit with the teeners I got going on this. But just a beautiful, beautiful little Boker tree brand Barlow from Zollingen, Germany. And that is number 1. And by the way, this is one of the smaller ones. I think this is the 3 1/4 inch overall length guy. So very small, very petite. Definitely a 5th pocket dropper when old HT carries this. This would never be my main knife of the day. It's just not. That's just me. Not to say this ain't completely capable, but for me, this would be a secondary knife. This would go in a watch pocket, the 5th pocket, but it is one of my absolute, maybe, arguably my favorite 5th pocket dropper in my collection. I love, love, love this thing. All right, moving on. Next, what we got here? Got the old Rosecraft. Beaver Creek Barlow. Everybody loves that. Shout out to the fellers of the orange here on the smooth orange bone handles here. Got the nice Wharncliffe on this blade. Just beautiful. Has the RCB on the bolsters there. Just a very beautiful color, and always stellar walk and talk on these Rosecraft blades. Love this thing. That is number 2. Number 3, getting a little modern here, folks. This is a modern traditional, and we will get this thing opened up. This is by Lion Steel out of Italy, Maniago, Italy. And we have a 2-bladed Barlow here, and this guy has 2 full blades. There's really, if you can see here, there is no secondary blade. You got your clip point, and you got your Wharncliffe here, and they are both identical in length. So you got 2 full length blades going on here. Nice long pulls, nail nicks on both sides of these blades. These are M390 super steel on these. You can see that there on the tang. Definitely modern traditional. We have titanium bolsters here. We have screwed construction, and but we do they do throw us a little traditional flair on it here with these nice olive wood covers on here. But we have titanium back springs, we have titanium bolsters, We have super steel on both of these blades, and yeah. But again, definitely the long bolsters. It is a modern traditional Barlow from Lion Steel, and just great half stops, if you can see here. Look at that. Nice wall. The Lion Steel. I don't know exactly. There is a name for this one, but we're just going to say the Lion Steel two-bladed Barlow. All right. And if anybody wants to know later, you see one of these in here like, man, you just called that the two-bladed Barlow. You know, can you get me a number? I can. Just reach out to me. Hit me up in the comments or hit me up on my email if you see something here and you want more. You know, it really speaks to you and you want more information on it, holler at me and I'll get that for you. Coming back, we have another Boker Barlow. Boker tree here on the bolster. And this is what this little guy looks like. Boker Zollingen, Germany. So it is another German-made Boker tree Barlow. And I am not exactly sure what wood this is. Maybe some oak or some walnut. You arborists out there, if you happen to know or have this knife and know what hardwood this is here, you can leave it in the comments. Has some really nice grain to it. Really pretty wood there on those handles. But yep, little Boker tree brand Barlow, and I believe this one is stainless. My first one was carbon steel, but I believe this is a stainless steel. About 99% sure that's stainless, because I would have had, by now, I've used it enough that we would have some teeners going on there. Pretty sure if that was carbon steel. So, little stainless steel, nice half stops, nice walk and talk that you would expect from Boker tree Barlow. Moving on, what do we got here? Aha! This is an old school one here, folks. Just a second to get it open. We have an old Camco USA, and this is a vintage Barlow. Camco is a line from Camillus, the old Camillus company. If you can see here, if I get that little blade out of the way, Camco USA, and has the rounded letters on there for Camco. I forget exactly. I want to say this is 50s, a 1950s tang stamp. I have looked that up at once, but I didn't write it down for this video. But this is definitely vintage 40s, 50s, 60s era Camco USA. I'm pretty sure I've read and seen these in old catalogs. They showed the old flyers, and they were 1950 something that has these knives showed in the old knife catalogs. But we have good old saw cut Delrin. I don't know if that's coming through, but this is a saw cut Delrin on those covers. Definitely got some peppering here on these blades. Good old carbon steel. This is what I call the broomstick. The broomstick pin blades on them, real thin. Just a real tiny, thin secondary blade, but a very pointy, capable clip point here on this guy, and just a cool little piece of Americana history here in this one, in my opinion. Love it. Glad that it's in my collection. Nice half stops again. Camco USA. Moving on. We have another. We're going to stay on the vintage vibe here for this one for sure. Get this guy open. Bam! This is one that was sent along to me from my buddy Jason, Ozark boy up there in Missouri. This is one that he has gifted me, a Remington Barlow, and yeah, this is a very old piece. Well, everybody's definition of old is different. To my collection, I have not been too long. I've probably been on this vintage hunt for myself, getting into more vintage style pocket knives probably for the last year, maybe not even a year, but last, say, 8 months, 7, 8 months to, I have really started learning the appeal and the wonderment of these vintage pieces. So this is like I believe this is a 30s or 40s model Remington Barlow, and which is one of my older pieces. I don't have anything yet in 1800, 1880s, 1890s. I have not got anything in my collection that is not from, the 19th century. But I've got stuff back. This is some of my oldest. I've got stuff back into like the 1930s. That's as old as my collection thus far, my vintage knives go. And this one is pretty close. This is in the 30s or 40s range, but just a beautiful little Barlow. Has the nice threaded bolsters on it. Definitely, we can see all these peppering marks on it. We are ate up with the Teeners. Kind of some nice gray. We call this the grandpa Teeners around here. Has another one of those little broomstick pin blades on it. Still has some snap. Check that out. You hear that? Come on. 1930s, 1940s, and still has a wall, a definitive wall like that. That's a testament, folks. I was late to the dance on this vintage stuff, and people, man, HT, they just made them different back then. I mean, their quality, they hold up, they last. I get it. I'm all in now. I understand that, and yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Looks like these have been recovered over the years. It looks like we have some bone, even a little piece right here missing. We have bone on this side, smooth bone. And if you come around here, we have wood. We have some hardwood. So, very cool. Over the years, there's been a little surgery done on this thing, which, guess what? I get it. I love it still. That is cool. One side bone, one side wood. Hey, it is still rocking. I think both sides look unique and good in their own way. I am proud to own it. So, little Remington Barlow. Moving on, we have a Schrade coming up. If I can get it open here. See, these are why I like these big knives. That's why I'm a big knife guy. My fingers and all these little guys, these are murder on me to open and close. I love them. I think they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but they're rough they're rough when you got arthritic hands. Bam. This is the Schrade Model 206. And I have just some funky, I don't know if this light will do it, but I just have some crazy Teeners going on this blade. You guys hear Michael Richter talk about the snozzberries. This thing's got a little, and my light's not doing this justice, but this has some really cool patinas. Obviously, carbon steel blade. Got a little pin blade, not quite as thin. I would still consider this a broomstick pin because it is still pretty small and pretty thin. Not quite as small as some of those others, but no half stops on this one. Great snap, but check out this little filigree engraving here on these bolsters. You have a nice single thread here, And check out that kind of file work, that engraved worked bolster there. That is just the star of the show. And then we come around here and we have these orange, kind of pale orange, and these are Delrin covers on the handles. I think it goes very nicely. They're done really well. I actually had to look pretty hard because when I first got that, what are you doing? Abby wanted another cameo, but I had to look pretty hard because they do a real good job on their Delrin, and they almost had me fooled that that was bone, but it is indeed. And if you guys can see, look at those little grain marks they put in there. Is that coming through? But they even put the little character marks in there, they're right there. That's how the sun's hitting it. Made me do a double take, like, is that bone? But it is well executed Delrin, and this is the Schrade model 206. Don't know how much that's coming through. Probably that will do better right there, where you can read the whole tang stamp. And this is like a 1970s to early 80s. This was like a 5 or 6 year run of these. So these are definitely vintage, almost 40, 50 year old knife right here. So really nice. Love that one. And last but not least, we're going to finish up with an old case Barlow, and this is a good old, get that up there, 1974. So am I. Makes this one super cool. We have saw cut, that reddish brown that Case does so well. Delrin on the covers. We have the Case XX right there on the bolster, engraved into that bolster. On the show side, we are back to a little broomstick pin blade with half stops, and this heavily teenered up blade here, carbon steel. But this is a 1974 Case XX Barlow, and really cool. That is my birth year, so it is exactly, I can tell you this one for sure, exactly half a century old. This is 50 years old, and awesome. So anyway, we're at almost 28 minutes again. I'm sorry. These collection videos take some time. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and shout out to the person that requested that. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're gonna let you guys go. God bless you. We're gonna see you on the next one. For Miss Abby, I'm HT, and we are out.
Buck knives gleaming under that old porch light. He'll tell their stories deep into the night. Reviews and torture tests, it's a sight to see.